Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It does not cost you anything. If there's something you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we've got some very deep waters. This is the Queen of Cups. I think there's been some soul searching going on. You know, I think that we've started to discover what is really important to us. What gives you the most value in your life? What is your purpose, right? And this is kind of a card that's saying we're diving down deep into these waters of ourselves, of our own desires, our own sense of purpose, our own sense of meaning, and we're trying to find out what's down there. Right? Maybe we're on that search for purpose and meaning in our lives. Okay? Let's put some more cards out. We need a little bit of context here. We've got a 8 of Cups. Yeah. I feel like we're involved in that search. Because I think that without having this sense of purpose or meaning in our lives, we don't have the same kind of satisfaction in our accomplishments as we would if we really felt connected with what we're doing, right? So we're looking for that connection again. We've got the Death card down here. We've got the Justice card over here. We've got the Queen of Wands up here. The Queen of Wands now, that's someone that knows what they want. That's somebody that has the fire, the passion, because see, this is water of fire. And this is a lot of water. So I feel like we're discovering that sense of meaning and purpose in our lives, and that's going to really supercharge our activities, right? There we go. Look at that. Look, that's the success that is partly a result of finding this sense of purpose, this meaning, really getting this fire, getting this supercharged energy, right? Now, the thing is, with this 10 of Pentacles, you're going to be successful. This is going to be a huge win for you. Whatever you're doing, it's going to pay off. You're going to win. You're going to succeed. It's going to be very lucrative. Let's say you're going to be wealthy, right? But without having this sense of meaning and purpose, these are going to be empty shells. So we need this water energy to fill these pentacles up. I know that sounds odd, right? They're not cups. They're pentacles. The physical success is the vehicle for the sense of meaning and satisfaction, which I think we are discovering. It's supercharging us. It's transforming our lives. Here's that Death card. And I think this does involve something that right now feels like it's mostly a business and obligation. It's just kind of something that you do. It's something professional. But where's the real heart of it, right? And there's the seven of Cups. But there's a higher perspective there with the Queen of Swords and 7 of Swords. See, the 7 of Swords is actually a very good card to end with because it shows that you are resistant to any kind of doubts, any kind of any kind of energies coming in from outside trying to push you off of your path, right? That signifies a real commitment, a real steadfast energy. You're not going to be pushed around, right? Very good cards here. I really do like these. We're going to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is that factor, infinite and unknown. And it's going to go right here. We're going to put Kevin, a.k.a. Mr. Bates, right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. And it will give us our confirmation. If at any point during this program you feel like you might know what that card is or you have a hunch, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. First thing that comes to your head, doesn't matter what you put, just put something down there. right? We start exercising our intuition before we know it. We're getting them right every day, you know. But let's take a look at the major arcana. The only one we have, two, are the Libra energy and the Scorpio energy. The Justice, or the Adjustment card, and the Death card. So these two cards together, I start to wonder if what's been on your mind lately is that trade-off between physical success and, let's say, happiness or meaning, right? Or satisfaction. Okay? The two don't always go together. So I wonder if you've been kind of thinking about in your life, well, do I just go after this kind of financial career goals and I get really, really successful, I get a lot of money, right? Or do I try to do something that's going to make me happy? And are the two mutually exclusive? See, I don't think they are. And I think what you're discovering now is the meaning behind all of your efforts. See, I always say on this channel, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It matters how you're doing it and why. So you could have that job, that career that is intensely successful, paying you a lot of money, but you don't find any meaning or satisfaction in it. You don't feel a sense of purpose. Well, maybe what we're doing is we're trying to dig deep inside of ourselves to find that purpose, to find that meaning as a way of kind of loving what we do, right? Instead of doing what we love. Because I don't think that it's really, I don't think it has to be a trade-off. I don't think you have to sacrifice the physical wealth and success in order to have something meaningful and something that is satisfying and something that brings you happiness. Okay? And I don't know the answer to the question because I don't know what you're doing and I don't know how you feel about what you're doing. Right? And when I say work, I don't just mean your job. I don't just mean what you do for money. We're using the finances as an example, but really the work is whatever you are putting your efforts into every day. Okay? Maybe right now that's what we're looking for, something to pursue. Maybe you don't have that kind of work now. Yeah, you got a job, whatever. But maybe you're looking for something else, something that has that deep, meaningful passion, something that's going to supercharge your creative energy. And maybe it has nothing to do with making money. Maybe your money's over there, it's separate, it's your job, that's whatever. You're looking for something else, right? You're looking for something that's not all together with, in one package, perhaps. So we've got these two, and I kind of feel that we are, in some ways, looking to continue moving forward in our life toward our ultimate life goals, life success, whether this is financial, this is family, friends, this is creativity, this is everything. But we want it to have a sense of purpose and meaning and satisfaction. We want to have that, we want to have that glimmer in our eye when we wake up in the morning. We want to have that supercharged creative energy to apply to this life that we're building. See, this is the ideal that we set up in the future. Okay. And I think there's an issue there too, because I feel like we have this ideal set up as our future life, this is our best life, right? The picture on the wall, the ideal. I think that the reality is not matching up with the ideal. And I think that that needs a little bit of a shift of perspective as well. Because it's the ideal. And that means that it's basically unattainable, right? It's the perfection, and that's the standard that we have. And so, in other words, whenever we don't meet that perfection, whenever we don't reach this ideal, we feel bad about it, right? And that would explain why we've got the 7 and the 8 of Cups here right next to each other. I mean, this is in the environment. 7 of Cups in the environment gives us an 8 of Cups within us. And the 7 of Cups in the environment is success that hasn't met your standard, right? It's a life that is not perfect. Why? What am I doing wrong? Life's not perfect, right? And that translates then into this kind of, this feeling of I must be doing something wrong, or this is just a lost cause, this is hopeless, this is, all these things that we feel and think that really just tends to reinforce this reinforce this this lack of not lack of success, but this lack of feeling, this lack of satisfaction, lack of happiness in what we're doing in the environment, are the way that we are relating to the environment. Okay, so it could be our personal relationships, it could be the relationship with ourself, with spirit, it could be professional stuff, right? Creative things, it's all of these things, right? There's a sense of dissatisfaction because I think, for one, our standard is this standard of perfection that really we're not going to be able to ever reach that. We live on the plane of imperfection, right, of duality. And so we set up this ideal for ourselves as like the perfect life, the best life scenario. And anytime we fall short of this, we start getting down on ourselves. Okay? And that's kind of bad, kind of good, right? Because it keeps us motivated. It keeps us working harder and trying harder. But at the same time, it could do the opposite. It could lead to this really just this loss of interest, loss of hope. You know, not even a boredom, but really just a rejection of it all. Just saying, I'm never going to reach perfection. I don't even want to try anymore. Okay? So we need to adjust things. We need to find a little bit of the meaning and the purpose in the work. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. It's not about the what, but about the how and the why. Okay? I think you're going through a big existential thing right now, where you're finding the purpose and the meaning of your life. And it could be that really this career that we thought we had, or with the Justice card here, it could be that this, well, maybe a relationship, maybe a marriage, maybe a business thing, maybe the job or career that we had, you know. We had expectations that it was going to be perfect, 10 out of 10, flawless. But it's not. And so how do we deal with that? Right? Is there something about it that needs to change, or something about us that needs to change? Okay? Is there some way that we need to evolve a little bit in order to still have a sense of purpose and satisfaction and happiness in what we are doing? Or do we need to change what we're doing? I mean, that's a question too. Maybe you do need to change your approach to what you're doing, or do something different altogether if you're not finding meaning in there. But we have to evaluate this 10 of Pentacles so we don't get into a different situation but have the same problem. You switch jobs, you switch relationships, but it's still not 10 out of 10 perfect. We're going to be right back in the same boat. So we have to dig deep and find out, what is it that's preventing me from really enjoying what I'm doing right now? Okay? I think there needs to be a shift of focus onto physical health and well-being, wellness, right? Now, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving any medical advice. It's common sense. You take care of yourself will take care of you, right? So I think also with the sevens here, we have to, the 7 and the 8, the cups. With the cups here, we have to focus on our physical well-being. I'm getting this feeling that you kind of stopped your workout routine, or you had a yoga routine, or a certain kind of way that you like to eat, or something like that, but you stopped doing it. I feel like we let go of those things, you know. And maybe it's because we didn't see the progress fast enough, or because things weren't suddenly absolutely perfect, right? Because we woke up in the morning and we said, hey, it's not a 10 out of 10, I quit, right? We go to work and we think, this is not the ideal for me, you know, and we quit. I think what the Death card down here is showing us is that, look, the change takes place over time. It is a slow process of change. We're slowly getting closer and closer and closer to perfection. We will never get there. Don't forget. But the process is slow. So when you make a commitment to something, and I think that you did, there's something here. It's a job, it's a relationship, it's a career, it's something that you've kind of committed to. Because we have this card, and I think that this is something binding in a way. You know, something that we said, okay, I'm going to do this. And I think maybe we are expecting results way too fast. And we kind of want to give up on things. It's almost like we get there and it's like, this is not like the brochure, right? No, but you have to build it, you know. You've got to continue to work at it. And the death card reminds us that change goes slowly. Change happens over time. We have to keep working at it. What we need to do is the work of the Queen of Cups and find that sense of meaning and purpose. And if it's not here in what you're doing, ask yourself, with the Seven of Swords, ask yourself if doing something different is going to be any better. I mean, it really, truly, we have to talk about the air cards here. Because the Queen of Swords is saying, yes, you have to look at yourself from a relatively neutral, objective, unbiased point of view. And you have to ask yourself, this is you asking the question, Seven of Swords. If you changed course, because see, this is the seven, it shows the main course, right? The first direct path. And then it shows all of the other options, let's say, all of the other things that are kind of saying, you know, you could take this exit or this exit or this exit. Is any of these different roads going to have more meaning and value to you? I'll wait. Because if we do change course, what are the odds that we're going to end up in the same boat with the same feelings? Okay? Because maybe the change isn't something that needs to be out there. Maybe I don't just have to change the scenery. Oh, if I change the wallpaper, I'll feel better in the room, you know? Maybe there's something that is gradually changing and growing in us, a deeper sense of meaning in our life, a deeper sense of purpose. It doesn't matter what we're doing, if we're an artist or a mechanic or an office person or food service. You know, I always like to talk about the food service. I think in another life I was like a chef or a line cook or something. I really do. I can sort of cook now, but it's not, I don't know. I'm okay at it, I guess. But changing the scenery is not going to change us. It might make it better for a time, and that's part of the Seven of Cups. It might make it better for a time, but it's not going to guarantee that we feel any differently about things. So we have to ask ourselves, is the problem with how I am relating to my life, right now, my environment? Or is a different environment going to be any better? Right? If you quit your job, you got a different job. Yeah, you might be happier for a while. But over time, with that gradual, this is time, right? As time goes by, are you going to feel any better about your life? And maybe it's not so much about what job you have, but the sense of satisfaction, the deeper meaning that you have in that work you're doing. But then also what else you're doing. What are you doing at home? What are you doing internally? What are you doing spiritually? See, it's really the internal stuff. Are we taking care of ourselves? Are we taking care of our mental health, emotional health, physical health? Okay. But generally, what I'm feeling here is that you are discovering this. That I'm describing now the whole process that's already taking place within you. And I think you're already looking at it. You're already thinking about it. And I think very soon you're going to discover a certain something that's going to really supercharge your energy. There's a lot of creative energy, the Queen of Wands here. This is that fiery enthusiasm for life. Because there's meaning and purpose, water, inside there. Because of that sense of meaning and purpose, you have this supercharged enthusiasm for everything. You're going to want to pick the gym stuff back up. You're going to want to focus on your cooking, right? Your kitchen skills, or focus on your diet, your exercise, your well-being. You're going to want to, be creative again and do all these extracurricular activities, hobbies, going for hikes or walks or whatever it is that you like to do. Okay. I feel like lately there's not really been an interest in things like that. Like I said, it feels like we've stopped doing a lot of things. This is now the energy. This is that huge win. This is what you've been waiting for. The resurgence of this energy, this zest, this robustness, this vitality that says, I can't wait to go to work. I can't wait to go to the gym. I can't wait to wake up in the morning and, fix myself the whatever dish you're making, the vegan eggs Benedict or something, right? I make a really good hollandaise sauce. I do use eggs though. But anyway, that's my flaw. I think that this is coming for you. And I think that with the Ten of Pentacles in this future position, you realize that this is not just the goal or the ideal of financial well-being, financial health, right? That this is the best life ideal. This is every part of your best life. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and finances, and environment. If you're not in an environment that is conducive to your well-being, indeed, that must change, right? And so we see the connection between these two. The environment, this position in the Dove and Serpent spread, the environment and what is within you, your kind of drive right now. This is your driving force. Your driving force is change. Your driving force is the evolution and the rebirth of your creative drive, right? But with these two cards, since there is an intimate connection in the Dove and Serpent spread between these two positions, something in your environment may need to change. If your environment is not ideal right now, then we have to work towards creating that ideal, getting closer to it, right? But we have to acknowledge that merely changing the environment is not going to change us. We can redo the wallpaper, but we're still here in the middle of the room. But if your environment, if it's in any way unhealthy, change it. Focus on that change first, right? Make sure that you're in a position, in a place that is at least good for you, right, in some way. If you're in a bad spot, of course, protect yourself, get yourself out of there, right? And so I think that it's part of it, but I also feel as if that kind of change, like creating, it's like you're getting a new house or a new apartment or something. You don't just expect to snap your fingers and suddenly it's exactly how you want it. That kind of change is going to take time. You're going to find little things to put on the walls. You're going to find the rug that you like. You're going to find certain pieces of furniture that speak to you. It's changing over time. It's becoming something. And it never is going to be a finished product. Because then we'll get bored of it. Then we have no meaning. Then there's no purpose to it. It's just a finished product. We have to keep working. We have to keep finding something to strive for. And that's why I always say that the Ten of Pentacles is the ideal. And this is a moving goalpost. It is always going to take a step away from you. The closer you get, the further away it's going to get. Okay? And this is because you always have to have your eyes focused on something in the distance, right? We get too nearsighted. I'm getting so old that I can barely see this close to my face anymore. We don't ever really want to reach the finish line. I mean, we do in small ways. We want to have these goals, set up milestones, set up smaller goals for ourselves to, give us that sense of accomplishment, right? But we don't want to ever be done with life. Because life is all about progress. Life is all about this card here, time, change. Life does not stand still. Why do we? Well, we don't. When we do, I think we get into a situation here where we lose our creative drive, we lose our motivation. So our life is going to continue to evolve, and we have to evolve internally as well as the environment evolving externally with our influence, trying to create the ideal life, and we're always going to be involved in that creation. This is that ideal. Now, mystery card, what do we think? I think maybe a nine of cups. All right, 7, 8, then we get to 9. We realize that it's an ongoing process of striving for perfect happiness, striving for that dream life, striving toward that ideal, following our bliss, right? In all areas of life. Following your bliss doesn't mean like, I feel like I need to be a painter and I'm just going to follow my bliss and I'm going to be a painter. Everything's going to be painting, painting, painting. Yeah, I mean, that could be part of it. But it's just one part, right? It's not the only part of your life, right? Following your bliss, I think, is having that ideal that is ubiquitous, that is surrounding you. Physical health, right? Physical activities, hobbies, careers, that sort of thing. Avocations, your skills, let's say. But your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual and creative practices and works. It's everything. It's not just, and maybe the painting, the life of being a painter, maybe it covers all of those areas, right? And maybe that's the ultimate ideal, is to have that kind of singular focus in life. Well, let's see. If you have a prediction for the mystery card, I want you to put it down in the comments. I'm thinking it's a 9 of something. Let's see what we have. Oh, we've got a 10 of Pentacles again. Interesting. This is the ideal life. This is your best life, right? You got your pets, your plants, your people, everything's there. But even in this card, it shows movement, right? It shows young people, middle-aged people, old people. It shows little tiny buds of flowers. It shows more growth. It shows the big fruits and flowers and blossoms, right? It shows the entire life cycle. It shows an ongoing thing. And this is but a snapshot. It's like you took a picture of your best life. Took a Polaroid. You know what those are? You took a Polaroid of your best life. And now it's just a matter of doing the work, continually evolving, pushing forward, day by day, right? To get as close to this ideal as we can. But we know that this is, it's still life. You know what I mean? It's still life. It's a photograph of something. It's not the actual thing. In the actual thing, these people are moving around. They're aging. They're getting older. The dogs are running around. The kids are running around, probably screaming, right? Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you would like to stick around, there is a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Taurus Monday and Friday. 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know what your 10 of Pentacles life is. Yeah. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.